Hi, this is Ebony Jarvis, and today I'll be discussing raising a child with autism. I remember once when my son Cameron was about 4 years old, he came to me and he began to point and he began to grunt, and I was so confused. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. I asked him, "What do you want for dinner?" He looked at me and he grunted and he pointed and he basically towards the macaroni sheet. I began to then I had to learn about raising a child with autism. One of the things you want to keep in mind when raising a child who has autism is to be understanding. There are going to be a situation where you'll your child, but it's okay, and it's something that is going to happen often, but you have to understand the way that they feel, the way that they may be feeling. And if you keep that in mind, that there is this situation at hand as far as their more. Another important thing with autistic children is to try to remain consistent. Consistency is the key. One of the things that the therapist that my son and I visit with the autistic child, being able to stay on that schedule teaches them what needs to be done on a regular basis, and at some point they will begin to do that without you having to force the one of the things that I like to remind a lot of parents who have autism is to remain calm. Children may make noise and act out and be very loud. It's very, very important to remain calm in those situations, because a lot of times children will mirror our way. One of the things that I definitely for, and I explain the importance of education. As far as what he can understand, I do explain to him that education is the most word, and it's going to lead to what he does. So everything that we do involves some sort of education. We actually play games in the car that involve alphabets and numbers, and we try to make sure that that's something that we do on a regular basis. One of the other things that I try to remind a lot of parents autistic. Sometimes in certain situations, autistic children may stand out. It's almost a given. I remember there was a story recently where a child his birthday, any friends to invite to his birthday party. And it turns out his mom did this very big thing on Facebook, and he ended up getting multiple birthdays. He didn't have children. He stated that he didn't have friends. It is very important to try to promote that type of friendships, those type of friendships with your children if they are autistic. Involve age, children that are similar to them as far as autism is concerned, and children who don't have autism, so that they're able to behave properly in all settings. I do that parents remember that it is important when you are in public, or even when you're not in public with friends, you will ask me questions with him or what he's doing. Something to get offended by. Normally, you'll find that a lot of people who have no idea who you are will ask you those types of questions. It's your responsibility to explain the way. I don't feel that it's a thing to explain that your child is going through. It makes it easier for people to understand. 9 times children, I do understand that he is a bit different from other children, so I don't want them to treat him in a way that would affect his development. So ultimately, it is a very important thing that you remind. Forward, I do want to state that there are many things that a parent can do to make life easier for themselves and for their children who may have autism. Definitely keep in mind that if you're possibly getting frustrated, think of your child's situation, and it may make it easier for you. They're probably feeling frustrated too, so it's very important for you to think about that. Create a schedule. It'll make for yourself. Raising a child with autism, or children with autism even, you'll find that you can get frustrated and overwhelmed, and sometimes you have to do something for you to make sure that you're calm and you're happy. And then you also want to make sure that you involve yourself in multiple educational activities. Make them fun. Make it something that's fun for them so that it's easier for them to learn and enjoy education.